Okay, everybody, here we go. It is me, Gregory Mannarino, post-market wrap-up on this Wednesday, freak show day, Federal Reserve announcement day, for which I got wrong. We'll talk more about that in a moment here. September 20th, 2023. So absolutely, look, before I even elaborate on my bad call here on what the Fed would do, understand what you witnessed here. We had a stock market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average today, pre this announcement, was higher by 335 points. We finished down about 77. That's no, I'm sorry. It was up by whatever it was. We fell substantially from the high. We fell 335 points from the high today, is what I'm trying to get at here. We were higher by like 260 with regard to the Dow earlier. S&P 500 in the negative, the NASDAQ falling over 1.5%, about 209 points. This is clearly a no confidence vote out of its mouth today, despite the fact that during his vomitous speech, it thing, creature, was telling us how great we're doing. Okay, how strong our economy is, how resilient we are, and the Fed is still fighting inflation. Not only did he go on to say that, but he made a promise. I had to write this down. The Federal Reserve, listen to just listen to this. Okay, Powell, the Federal Reserve will restore price stability. Let me let you in on a little secret here. The Federal Reserve has a mandate of price stability, which they never do. Prices have been rising and rising and rising. Actually, it's the value of the dollar that has been dropping and dropping and dropping decade after decade after decade. They're keeping prices in a stable upward trajectory here. Again, this gives us, we the people, the right to overthrow this organization here. They're killing every single one of us in the literal sense. They're wiping out an entire class of people. You know this is going on right in our freaking face. So let me ask you, okay, we're all friends. We can talk about anything. So are we to trust, are you and I to trust that the Federal Reserve is really going to restore price stability, being that they've never done that in the history of the Federal Reserve? That 90 freaking 8% of the purchasing power of the dollar is gone, and they want that last 2%? Are we supposed to trust that they're all of a sudden going to turn over a new leaf and this is actually going to happen? How about no? No and freaking no. You can't make this stuff up. It's impossible to do. So today, clearly a no confidence vote for this market. We finished in the negative across the board. Okay. And look, no rate hike. Most people would have believed that this market would go higher. But again, look, the market is a twisted thing. You have to understand. And when the Federal Reserve is unable to raise the federal funds rate 1/4 of 1%, despite the fact that they're in the fight of their lives, but inflation continues to rise, wholesale inflation coming in nearly twice as high as they expected it to, and they still can't raise 1/4 of 1% because our economy just can't handle it. Well, that sends a signal to the market that things are a lot worse than the Federal Reserve is letting us know. Now, you and I are clear on this. We're as clear as day. We know how bad things are. We also know how bad things are going to get. Let me just look at this. All right, this is in your inbox here. Let me read this to you. I want to know, seriously, people, how many times have we been warned? This here is President James A. Garfield, the 20th President of the United States. This is what he had to say. Pay attention to this. Whomever controls the volume of money in our country is absolute master of all industry and commerce. When you realize that the entire system is very easily controlled one way or the other by a few powerful men at the top, you will not have to be told how periods of inflation and depression originate. James A. Garfield, 20th President of the United States, was assassinated on September 19th, 1881. Do you see a connection here between a guy who is trying to tell you from 1881 what's actually going on. Thank you, Carlos. And he ends up assassinated. You think this is just by a coincidence as well? I tell you, people, how many times do we need to be warned? And what I'm saying is, honestly, being that this is what drives me out of my mind. Okay. The Federal Reserve, as I said, has a mandate. They have a mandate to maintain price stability. They've never done this. Okay. Even with their 2% objective, they want inflation to continue rising at 2%. We are exponentially higher than that. But let me ask you, since we live in a free nation which has representation, right? We all have representation, in this government. Honestly, when do you think the uniparty? Okay, because there's no two-party system. Okay, if you believe in that, I don't know what to tell you. There's no such thing. Okay. When do you think that the uniparty is going to allow we the people to take back what's rightfully ours? Okay, thank you, Douglas, here. That is control the money. We could control our own money. You wouldn't have things like this coming out. I mean, this is insanity to me. Assassinated September 19th, 1881, who tells us whomever controls the volume of money in our country is an absolute master of all. I mean, this is prophetic, don't you think? The same people, just in case you were wondering, it's the same groups of people then who are ruling the world now. Okay, does that give you a clue? Maybe just a little bit. Make it up. Make any of this stuff up. You couldn't do it if you tried to. Anyway, so going back to this market. Okay, we understand that we ended up in the negative after this pause here. Look, I got it wrong clearly. Whatever. My record is still not too bad. That's four times I have been wrong in over 10 years as to what the Federal Reserve would do. So my record is still pretty good at this point. Whatever. We're gonna look. What are they gonna do? They're probably gonna hike the next one. We're gonna get another hike in here, in my opinion. I believe before the end of the year. Could it be wrong again? Absolutely. That would make it 5. But we'll see. This thing here, this whatever it is seriously believing there's going to be cuts coming next year. The market, people like Jeffrey Gundlach, because the economy is in such bad shape. It can't possibly be worse off than it is at this particular time. It's the truth. You all know that. I mean, from every angle you want to look at, but Janet Yellen doesn't see it. She does not see anything, according to her own words, that the U.S. economy is in any kind of a downturn. You can't make that up either if you wanted to. Now, something interesting did happen as well today. You're watching the MMRI, despite the fact that the Fed did nothing today. Risk in this market took another jump higher. Last time I checked, it was 286 and change. Can someone let me know what it was? I think 286.4, the MMRI. Anyway, crazy stuff going on here, people. And you know what really bothers me even more so than anything else, honestly, is listening to it talk. When it can sit there and say whatever it wants to say. Okay. How great we're doing, how strong our economy is, how resilient the consumer is. We're firing on all cylinders. Then they can't raise rates even a quarter of 1% because we're doing so well. Meanwhile, inflation continues to surge out of control. What does this tell you? This should tell you again what you have known since I don't know how freaking long. This was never, ever, ever, ever about containing inflation. Yellen's word, okay, because it's contained now and it's temporary and it's transitory. All this is doing is what it's designed to do, cutting off the availability of credit to people and crushing the consumer. That's all. I mean, you would imagine in an environment like this that the market would have got all giddy today, huh? Off of a pause. Didn't work. Again, no confidence vote. No confidence vote. Period. Anyway, cryptocurrencies Today fell under pressure. Gold flat, silver put on a slight gain. 10-year yield higher as risk rises in the market. And you got the US dollar on a relative strength basis. People still don't understand what this means. A comparative strength basis. Yes, it did get stronger. And this is a phenomenon you and I have known. It's at 288, the MMRI, really? Wow. 12 points. 12 points away from extreme risk, people. It's not looking good, honestly, here. And I still believe, and I could be wrong on this too, because I did get the Fed wrong today. They're going to prop this up to the selection cycle of the new president. Uniparty or not, the new president's already been selected. The rest of it's a show. The debates, the whatever it might be. It's you're watching a sitcom. Thank you, automotive professionals and performance. Yeah, they're trying to remain confident. It's exactly that's what, but it's not working. I mean, the market didn't like this today. I believe if we would have gotten a 25 basis point hike today, this market would have went up. It might have went up substantially because again, it would have been a vote of confidence. Everything he said was a lie. Everything that thing said today was a lie. How strong the economy is. We're progressing moderately. Consumer is doing great. Ba, 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 ba. All of it's a lie. You know that. Every word that came out of his mouth was a lie. Again, no accountability. Zero. Do you think that's right? I don't think that's right. I really don't think it's right. Anyway, people, I've covered a lot with you already, and I'm starting to sweat here. Almost 457 thumbs up. I think that's worth a little more. My sweating here. What do you guys and girls want to talk about here? At the end of this, like I'll open up a little Q&A. Honestly. Anyway, so let us. What are we doing here? All right, hold on. Greg, I sold my house, Bitcoin. No, you didn't. You did. I know people were actually doing that, but tell me you weren't one of those here. Look, people were mortgaging their houses to buy Bitcoin and selling their cars to buy Bitcoin. And, it's a phenomenon that, that FOMO of missing out on the whole thing. With regard to cryptocurrencies, with regard to gold, silver, platinum, palladium, commodities in general, people, look, if you're waiting every day for this stuff to make a big price move higher, you're doing the wrong thing. I've outlined this for you so many times over the years that I just can't even believe I'm going to do it again here. Until we get, and this really look at the risk in this market. I didn't develop the MMRI just for fun. Okay, I thought that the metrics that I used in looking at risk in the market based on the debt market and the US dollar was kind of ingenious. I'll be honest with you. This thing here is clearly telling us that this debt market is flashing red. I did a whole video on this recently. Okay. Eventually, and we could be in the early stages right now, we are going to get a meltdown in the debt market. Look, I talked about this morning, and don't take my word for a damn thing ever. Okay. Hedge funds are taking up some pretty massive bets that the debt market is going to melt down. This is the Big Short 2.0 on a much greater scale. Okay. This isn't just one group of guys doing this. This is hedge funds around the world now taking up bets that we're going to have a meltdown in the debt market, something that you and I have been speaking about for 10 years. Okay. A meltdown in the debt market, people, is going to wreak havoc on the world economy and financial system, just as it's designed to do. Get rid of the old system, replace it with a new system. Period. That's where we're going here. That's just at least where they want to go. I don't believe that the central bankers, especially the Federal Reserve, foresaw this BRICS nations threat. They want to corner energy. They want to replace the US dollar. Okay, let's put that aside for now. Debt market meltdown, engineered, wipe out the global economy on a scale that no one is going to believe on. It's going to be biblical. When the debt market meltdown is going to destroy not just the world economy, but stock markets around the world, I mean, again, where's the bottom? We don't know. No one has no idea. It's a black hole. It's impossible to tell where the bottom is. What we do know, at least here with the Fed, is they started QE1 at Dow 6,000. If they did not start QE1 at Dow 6,000, where would the bottom actually be? It would have overshot. That's the truth. But there's no telling here where the bottom is going to be. But cash is eventually, going back to what I was trying to get to, it doesn't fly away, people, and go to money heaven. It doesn't grow little money wings. It's going to end up in commodities. It's going to end up in cryptocurrencies, in my view, as well. Crude oil, silver, again, gold, my two most favorite assets of all time. I think they're going to skyrocket like you have no idea. Maybe some of you do, but that's where we're going with this at one point. And don't just listen to me anymore. The hedge funds are backing up what I'm saying here, and I've been on the cutting edge of this for so freaking long. But we got this down. Again, you got to be ready for what's coming, people, from every angle. You're not just from a financial standpoint. What do I always tell you every Friday? And I'm going to tell you this Friday: love each other, care about each other, be charitable, all that stuff. I don't say that for fun either. I say it because I need it. I mean it, and I need it too. We need each other. We need each other here. I can't stress that enough. We got to have each other's backs. We got to make alliances with people who are of the same mindset. And you and I, we have the ability to understand what's going on. So did this guy. Okay, who was assassinated for saying the truth here. I mean, really, I just can't take this stuff. How many more times do we need to be warned? This guy is warning us from 1881. It's an incredible thing. Whomever controls the volume of money in our country is the absolute master of all. When you realize that the entire system is easily controlled by a few very powerful men at the top, you will not have to be told how periods of inflation and depression originate. They rigged this whole thing. It's not real. It's unbelievable. And the same people from then are doing it today too. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. And it's not just this guy. We've been warned by some pretty lofty people over the years here. Anyway, people, it's crazy. I want to thank all of you for being here. Magic Mika, Geo Ryder, all my friends, Alan Greenspan, Joe Potter, Craigslist, everybody, Dave. Anyway, but like I said, as long as we understand and we just be ready for the worst case scenario, people, because that's where we're going here. It's so obvious. And the lies, the deceptions, the distractions today, classic example of that thing talking, no accountability, none of our loving, caring uniparty representatives doing a damn thing about it. The Federal Reserve, is in full breach of contract to the American people here by not maintaining their mandate. They're the ones who have created this situation deliberately. Did they not know that by repropping up a housing bubble, repropping up a stock market bubble, by inflating the largest bubble in the history of the world, this hyper debt bubble, collectively, central banks around the world, did they not know that this current situation would be what it is? Inflation surging out of control, nowhere to go but much worse. Our economy is so strong that they can't raise the federal funds rate 25 basis points, really? But it's great and fantastic according to it today. See what I'm talking about? But again, where is the accountability? People, I don't know what else to say. All right, I'm going to let you all go. This is kind of a long video. It's 19 minutes, almost 800 thumbs up. I appreciate that. That 800 is a good number. I like seeing that. It really makes me happy, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being my friends. Thank you for, backing me up even when I'm wrong. And I was wrong today with what the Fed would do. It doesn't matter. The bigger scheme, we got this picture painted perfectly. We know what's going on more than anybody. So did Garfield over there, and look what happened to him. He got assassinated. So sick, people. It's so freaking sick. So freaking sick. All right, look, this guy here loves you a lot. Thank you for those thumbs up. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. Honestly, I will see all of you in the morning. Thank you for it still keeps coming in for Dolly, my beauty love. That was my nickname for her, my beauty love. Oh man, I can't believe she's gone, and I just hurt so bad. It's just a void here without her. It's a terrible thing, terrible thing. But I got two more. All right, and they're both depressed too. Dogs understand. I think they really do. They get it. Um, anyway, love you a lot. I'll see all of you in the morning for my pre-market report. All right, we got this. And no, just real quick, one more thing. This no vote, this no confidence vote that we just got today. Let's see how the market reacts to this over the next couple of days, especially watching risk. Okay, the MMRI, in my view, is the best risk indicator. Period. And it's really showing us what's going on here. Risk is rising. We are so close to extreme risk in this market, and this thing don't like it. Let's see what happens here. All right. See you in the morning.